Before the flood, before kingdoms and kings, there was a forgotten age. When angels descended to earth, and forbidden love gave birth to monsters. They were giants, half divine, half human, powerful enough to challenge heaven itself. And when the earth cried out for justice, judgment began to fall like a storm. This is the story of the Nephilim. The silence of the universe was absolute. No sound, no voice, just the breath of the newborn creation. Darkness tore into sparks of light, and the cosmos revealed its vast golden expanse. From above, thousands of luminous beings watched the blue planet emerging from chaos, bathed by rivers of silver and crystalline seas. Earth was a living song, pure, perfect, untouched. From the throne of eternity, a voice spoke, deep like thunder, gentle like the wind.
Let the earth bring forth life, and let man dwell upon it.
And so it was. The man walked across the plains, and his heart knew innocence. The stars, however, became witnesses to a secret. For among the angels who watched from the heavens, there were those who were captivated by the beauty of creation, especially the daughters of men. A different sparkle appeared in their eyes, an impossible desire to contain. Among them, one name stood out, Semjaza, the wisest and most restless. One night on Mount Hermon, he gathered 200 of his brothers. The clouds became dense. The winds roared between the cliffs. The moon illuminated faces with light and doubt, and Semjaza said in a firm voice,
"Brothers, do you see what is below us? The daughters of men are beautiful, and life pulses in them with the spark of the Creator. I wish to know them."
A murmur ran through the group. Some angels stepped back, fearful. Others looked at him with restrained ardor.
"Do you wish to challenge the will of the Almighty?"
asked Azael with a fiery expression. Semjaza replied,
"I don't wish for evil, but rather to understand the love that was denied to us. If we go down, we will know what it is to be flesh, and perhaps that way we will understand the human heart."
Silence continued until one by one the angels reached out their hands, forming a circle. The heavenly light trembled over them.
"Let it be a pact. We swear not to return to the sky until we fulfill what the heart desires."
The wind blew like a roar. Mount Hermon trembled. From above, streaks of fire cut through the sky. And 200 angels fell like burning stars, crossing the clouds and tearing the horizon. When they touched the ground, they took on human form. Tall statures, fiery eyes, faces of kings. The ground trembled under their feet. The daughters of men saw them and were amazed. No mortal possessed such beauty. They came closer, and the watchers took wives for themselves, teaching them the secrets of the heavens. They planted gardens, built towers, and erected golden altars. The union between the divine and human gave rise to something never seen before. The Nephilims were born, children who grow quickly, with glowing eyes and superhuman strength. In a short time, they became giants, and the earth began to feel their weight. They hunted everything that moved. They dominated the herds and the land, and the men, unable to resist, began to worship them as gods. Semjaza, now dressed in linen garments and crowned with heavenly stones, observed the result of his choice.
We've created something great. The sky fears us and the earth reveres us.
But Azael, by his side, replied in a somber tone,
What have we created, brother? It might be our downfall. They know no limits, and their hunger is endless.
In fact, the Nephilim began to consume what men cultivated, and when nothing was left, they turned against themselves. Blood ran through the valleys, and the mountains echoed with cries of despair. The scent of flowers was replaced by the smell of iron and death. The sky darkened. Thunder sounded in the distance. From above, a light pierced the clouds and settled over the mountain where everything began. An invisible and powerful voice echoed.
The earth groans under the weight of your corruption. The spirit of man will not remain forever.
Semjaza looked up at the sky, and for a moment he saw the reflection of his ancient wings burning in the distance. And the wind brought the answer of the judgment itself, cold and silent like the foreshadowing of the storm. The days that followed turned the land into a reflection of glory and horror. The Nephilims grew in size and power. Their bodies reached impossible heights. Their eyes shone like embers, and their voices echoed like thunder over the mountains. Each step they took made the ground shake. The human cities bowed before them, offering tributes and erecting altars in their honor. The guardians, enchanted with their children, taught them heavenly secrets. Azazel revealed the use of iron and bronze, forging weapons that had never existed before. men learned to make swords, shields, and spears, and with that came war. Other angels taught spells, the power of herbs, the writing of the stars, and mastery of shadows. The forbidden wisdom spread, and with it corruption. Semjaza, standing on top of a newly built temple, watched the horizon filled with fire and dust. The civilization of men was blossoming and decaying at the same time.
Show them the knowledge of the gods.
Azael stared at him, his expression hardened.
Show them the destruction. Look at what they did, Semjaza. Brothers kill brothers. Kings devour kingdoms. Our children drink the blood of the innocent.
Down below, the giants parted amidst the chaos. Rivers of wine, human sacrifices, and blasphemous songs spread under the reddish light of dusk. The Nephilims erected monuments of black stone, engraved with symbols resembling the firmament. The columns rose until they touched the clouds, and their tops burned with eternal flames. The tallest among them was Og, son of Semjaza, of colossal stature and eyes as bright as the setting sun. Wore animal skins and a crown of bones. His voice was like the sound of 1,000 drums.
Men are weak. We were born to rule. The blood of angels flows in our veins. The world belongs to us.
The crowd applauded him with wild cheers, and the guards watched in silence, feeling a mix of pride and guilt. Time passed, and the giants' hunger grew. They consumed the herds, devoured the harvests, and when there was nothing left, they turned against the men themselves. Entire villages were destroyed. Blood flowed through the valleys and stained the rivers. The women were crying, the skies turned grey, and the sunlight seemed to flee from the earth. In each city, idols of the fallen were erected, figures with broken wings and eyes made of gold. Men, fearing the punishment of the gods, sacrificed their own children. One night, under the pale moonlight, Semjaza climbed the mountain once again. The wind sliced through the air like blades. He knelt and raised his eyes to the sky.
Sir, if you still hear our voices, forgive us. We were not seeking evil, just to understand.
No response, just distant thunder, like echoes of contained anger. Azael approached, eyes burning.
His silence is the sign of the end. We created monsters, Semjaza, and when the gods are silent, the punishment has already begun.
While they spoke, the horizon trembled. Lightning crossed the skies, and an invisible voice thundered among the clouds.
The earth is corrupted before my face. Man has strayed, and the sons of heaven have desecrated the sacred ground. Judgment will come.
In the following days, omens filled the world. The stars lost their shine. Unusual winds swept across the fields, and the sea roared against the shores. The Nephilim, restless, looked up, sensing something that their strength could not stop. Og shouted to the sky,
Let the storms come. No god will destroy the blood of the giants.
and in the distance on the mountains a righteous man stood up in prayer. His name was Enoch. He walked alone through the devastated fields, eyes turned upward, seeking answers. The world was no longer the same, and the sky silently began to move. The earth groaned, the ground cracked, the rivers turned red, and the air carried the weight of guilt. The voices of the innocents, killed by the giants, rose to the sky like echoes of suffering. No song, no laughter, just the distant sound of human weeping and the roar of the Nephilim at their profane feasts. The mountains witnessed the horror. The sky, once clear, was now covered with black clouds, like ashes from the abyss. In the heights, the throne of the Most High shone among flashes of purity. Countless angels bowed in silence, awaiting the voice that governs everything. Suddenly, a bright light cut through the sky, and a thunder shook the pillars of paradise.
The corruption of the earth has reached its limit. The children of angels have become demons on the dust.
Archangel Michael bowed, his armor of light reflecting the throne's glow.
Sir, do you want us to eliminate the evil born from disobedience?
And the answer came like a burning wind.
The time of mercy has passed. Let the messengers prepare. Raphael, Gabriel, Uriel, Michael, go and purify the earth.
Each archangel received an order. Raphael had to capture Azazel, the spreader of corruption, and cast him into darkness. Gabriel would destroy the Nephilim, freeing the world from their tyranny. Michael would face Semjaza and his fallen companions, and Uriel would be sent to a righteous man, chosen to be the spokesperson of the divine will, Enoch, son of Jared. As the skies moved, Enoch slept under the light of a solitary star. He dreamed of rivers of fire descending from the mountains, and wings falling burned over the fields. He woke up sweating, with his heart racing. An angel came down before him, bathed in golden light. Enoch bowed tremblingly.
Who are you, Lord?
I am Uriel, sent by the Almighty. Did you see what the world has become? The blood cries to the sky, "Rise up, for you will be a messenger between man and the eternal."
Enoch raised his eyes and saw the cities in the distance covered in smoke. Children were crying and giants walked among ruins.
Evil became law. How could I, a mere man, speak to those who no longer hear the voice of reason?
Because your faith is your sword, and your heart is the echo of God's will.
In a moment, Enoch was taken by light and transported to the skies. In front of him, abysses of fire and mountains of crystal stretched. He saw the thrones of the angels and the places of judgment. The air vibrated with voices chanting the name of the Creator. In the center, a huge angel approached, Michael, the commander of the hosts.
Enoch, the Most High grants you the vision of destinies. You will carry his word to those who have fallen. You will go to Mount Hermon and tell the watchers that there will be no forgiveness. Their children will perish, and they themselves will be chained in the depths until the day of the final judgment.
The human bowed his head, filled with fear.
What if they don't listen to me?
And then the heavens will speak.
Back on Earth, Enoch walked to the mountain where it all began. The clouds parted with thunder, and the watchers saw him approaching. Semjaza recognized him from afar and went down to meet him, surrounded by pale light and regret.
Man of God, pray for us. We were foolish. Our children destroyed what we swore to protect. Ask the Almighty to forgive us.
Enoch looked at him with compassion, but his voice was firm.
There is no more intercession. Heaven has declared your end. The abyss will be your resting place, and your children will know the sword of judgment.
The cry of the angels echoed through the valleys, and the wind carried the sound to the plains. Night fell, and shooting stars crossed the sky, omens of destruction. Semjaza raised his eyes and whispered,
So what we love will be the seed of our downfall.
Enoch walked away slowly, illuminated only by the moonlight. In the distance, the roar of the Nephilim could be heard, still celebrating their own downfall. The time of justice had begun. The dawn rose quietly over a weary land. The wind carried the smell of smoke and iron. Enoch walked alone through the valleys, feeling the weight of the divine mission. Your bare feet touched the ground stained with the blood of the innocent. The world, once a garden, had become a graveyard of dreams. Amid the desolation, the sky opened up again, and a voice called his name.
Enoch, climb higher, for I will show you what is hidden from the eyes of men.
A whirlwind of light enveloped him. The ground vanished beneath his feet. He was lifted through the clouds, and before his eyes, places beyond comprehension were revealed. Mountains made of pure crystal, rivers shining like liquid fire, and angels of indescribable size with faces covered in glory. At the center of everything, a throne surrounded by light that could not be looked at. There was the Almighty. His voice was the sound of 1,000 waters, and each word made Enoch's heart tremble.
Did you see what the sons of heaven did on earth? They brought forbidden wisdom, spilled blood, and corrupted the flesh. Judgment is set.
Behind him, archangels approached. Michael with a flaming sword, Raphael with a serene expression and eyes of fire, Gabriel with wings that shone like molten gold, Uriel, bearer of the stars. Enoch bowed down, face to the ground.
Lord, your justice is perfect. What shall I do, dust and ashes, in the face of such great wrath?
You will be my voice. You will bring the fallen their final sentence.
The human was enveloped by a cloud and taken to a prison of darkness. There, he saw deep abysses and rivers of fire winding between black mountains. Inside, the watchman waited, chained, with blank eyes and faces filled with shame. Semjasa lifted his head when he saw him.
Enoch. Intercede one last time. Beg for the forgiveness we lost.
I pleaded for you before the throne, but your plea was not accepted. The Most High commanded, "You shall never rise again. Your place will be the abyss until the day the eternal flame consumes you."
Semjasa wept, and his tears sounded like thunder.
Let our children be destroyed as well. May the name of the giants disappear forever.
The echo of your voice was lost among the rocks. From above, lightning crossed the underground sky and the chains tightened. The cry of the fallen angels echoed through the heavenly realms. Back to the firmament, Enoch contemplated the fate of the Nephilim. In visions, he saw armies of giants fighting each other, cities burning. Seas dyed with blood, and the sky itself casting fire upon the earth. A tear fell from her eyes.
The world the Creator loved became ruin, but from the ashes the promise will be born.
Raphael approached, placing his hand on your shoulder.
Your burden is great, man of faith, but there is still a righteous man on earth. The Most High has already chosen him. He will build a new era when the waters cover the mountains.
Who is he?
Enoch asked with a trembling voice.
His name is Noah.
The words hung in the air like prophecy. The light around Enoch began to pulse, and time seemed to stop. In the midst of the brightness, he heard the voice of the Creator again.
Return to earth, Enoch. Speak to the people. Tell them that judgment comes with waters that no giant can withstand. But I will provide refuge in the heights for those who keep their faith.
The vision faded. Enoch opened his eyes and was back in the fields. The sun was setting on the horizon, painting everything red, and the distant sound of the Nephilim echoed with drums, shouts, and blasphemies. Enoch walked to the top of a hill. In the distance, he could see cities burning. The wind was blowing hard and lightning streaked across the sky. He raised his voice and shouted,
Repent, O men, for the waters will come and take away pride and blood.
No one heard, only the thunder replied, as if the sky itself confirmed his prophecy. And then, the world began to shake. A deep roar, coming from the depths, shook the ground. The clouds spun like whirlwinds of fire. Enoch looked up and saw a curtain of light descending over the valleys. The angels of judgment were already on their way. The righteous man closed his eyes, surrounded by brightness, and his body was enveloped in light. The earth was left behind as he ascended to the eternal realm, forever sealing his name among those who walked with God. The skies opened up with fire, and thunder tore through the firmament. Beams of light crossed the clouds as angels descended in formation, wielding flaming swords. The earth shook, the seas raged, and men fled before the divine judgment. The Nephilims, giants born from the corruption between angels and humans, rose against heaven. At the head of the holy hosts, Michael descended like a blazing star, followed by Gabriel and Raphael, leading legions of light. The entire world was burning between glory and ruin. Two huge valleys, Og, the greatest of the Nephilim, raised his heavenly iron spear and shouted, challenging the heavens. The giants advanced and the ground split beneath their steps. The angelic hosts responded in unison, swords of light clashing with spears of sin, the deafening sound echoing like the collapse of creation. Miguel wielded his sword and, invoking the name of the Almighty, struck down a giant in flames. Gabriel led the angels through the firestorm, while Raphael descended into the depths to face Azazel. Chains of fire surrounded the rebellious angel, sealing him in the abyss with glowing stones. From above, without a favor, the leader of the fallen angels watched the destruction with sorrow. In front of him appeared Michael, the sword still ablaze.
You were the first to fall and the last to understand,
said the archangel before casting him into the same abyss, ending the echo of heavenly rebellions. A profound silence covered the land. Heavy clouds formed in the skies, the prelude to the final judgment. Raphael raised his voice.
The land was washed in blood, now it will be washed in water.
The divine gaze turned towards a righteous man, Noah. Under the roar of the thunder, he raised the planks of the ark as commanded by the Almighty. The men mocked him, but Noah stood firm, guided by the voice that echoed in his heart. Animals of every kind came to him, 2 by 2, and the thunder announced the start of the flood. The floodgates of heaven opened, and from the depths, uncontrollable springs burst forth. The entire world was engulfed by the waters. In our mountains, the giants tried to resist. Og, filled with pride, shouted against the sky, but was swallowed by a colossal wave. Humanity cried in vain at the doors of the ark, and Noah wept upon hearing their cries.
Sir, have mercy on them,
whispered. The voice answered,
The earth needs to be cleansed.
For 40 days and nights, the flood covered everything. Mountains vanished, cities dissolved, and the world was cleansed of its corruption. Then came the silence. The pale sun illuminated an endless ocean, the ark floated on the waters, and Noah released a dove. She came back with a green branch, the first sign of hope. Noah bowed down in tears.
Your mercy is greater than the clouds.
Days later, the ark came to rest on the mountains of Ararat. The wind blew. The waters receded and life sprouted again. Noah erected an altar and offered a lamb to the Lord. A light came down, and the first rainbow appeared on the horizon, the symbol of the eternal alliance.
Never again will the waters destroy all flesh.